Our journey starts in 500 BC, deep in the sands of North Africa, where the story of Libya begins. A land of vast deserts and Mediterranean shores, Libya has long been a crossroads of civilizations. The Berbers, indigenous people of North Africa, etched their existence onto this land, living in harmony with its rugged terrain and harsh climate. Meanwhile, the Phoenicians, skilled seafarers from the eastern Mediterranean, recognized Libya's strategic position. They established trading posts along the coast, one of which would grow into the vibrant city of Carthage. These early settlements marked Libya's entry into the global stage, serving as a crucial link between Africa, Europe, and the Middle East. As centuries passed, Libya became a chessboard for the world's great empires. The Greeks, Romans, and Byzantines, each in turn, left their imprints on this land, shaping its culture, architecture, and society. Yet the Berbers held their ground, their culture and traditions remaining a steady undercurrent through the ebb and flow of foreign conquests. But the sands of time had more transformations in store for Libya. In the 7th century, a new force began to sweep across the Arabian Peninsula: Islam. The religion spread rapidly, carried by Arab armies that pushed into North Africa. This wasn't merely a military conquest, it was a cultural and religious revolution that would redefine the region. The advent of Islam in Libya brought significant changes. Arabic became the dominant language, replacing the tongues of the Greeks and Romans. The Islamic faith took root, intertwining with the local Berber traditions to create a unique blend of cultures. Mosques rose alongside ancient ruins, symbolizing the new spiritual direction of the Libyan people. Thus, by the 7th century, Libya had become a melting pot of cultures and religions, poised for the next chapter in its history. Fast forward to the 16th century, and Libya found itself under the rule of the Ottoman Empire. From the mid-16th to the early 20th century, Libya was a province within this vast empire, which stretched from southeastern Europe to Western Asia and North Africa. The Ottomans brought with them a sophisticated administrative system which played a crucial role in shaping Libya's political landscape. They divided the country into provinces, or vilayets, each with its own governor. This system of governance allowed for a degree of local autonomy, but also ensured Ottoman control over the region. Economically, the Ottoman period was characterized by a shift towards a more monetized economy. Trade flourished as Libya's strategic location made it a hub for the trans-Saharan trade routes. The Ottoman Empire introduced taxes which increased revenue and centralized wealth. This was a significant shift from the tribal and communal systems of wealth distribution that had previously existed. Religiously, the Ottomans were predominantly Sunni Muslims, and they brought their religious customs and practices with them. They established madrasas, or Islamic schools, throughout Libya, which played a significant role in spreading Sunni Islam and Ottoman culture. The influence of the Ottoman rule also extended to the wealth distribution among Libyan families. With the monetization of the economy and the introduction of taxes, wealth became more centralized. Those families who held positions of power within the Ottoman administrative system often accumulated significant wealth. This created a class of wealthy elites, a departure from the more egalitarian wealth distribution that had characterized Libyan society prior to Ottoman rule. Despite the challenges and changes brought about by Ottoman rule, the Libyans adapted and evolved, absorbing and integrating elements of Ottoman culture into their own. This blending of cultures and traditions created a unique Libyan identity, a fusion of indigenous North African, Arab, and Ottoman influences. The Ottoman rule, lasting for centuries, left an indelible mark on Libya's socio-political fabric. From politics to economics, from religion to wealth distribution, the Ottoman Empire shaped Libya in ways that continue to resonate today. As we turn the page to the next chapter in Libya's history, we'll see how these influences played out in the years to come. The 20th century dawned with new challenges and opportunities for Libya as it came under Italian rule. The year 1911 marked the beginning of Italian colonization, presenting a significant shift in Libya's geopolitical landscape. The Italians, eager to expand their empire, saw Libya as a jewel in the Mediterranean. The Italian rule was characterized by a significant change in the administration and the social structure of Libya. The colonizers initiated a vast modernization project that saw the construction of roads, railways, and the establishment of new agricultural colonies. While these infrastructural developments were indeed momentous, they were also a double-edged sword. The Italians imposed their culture and language on the Libyans, leading to a gradual erosion of indigenous customs and traditions. However, the winds of change were blowing across the world, and Libya was no exception. The end of World War II signaled the weakening of European colonial powers. And in Libya, the fight for independence was gaining momentum. The struggle was not an easy one, but the Libyans, united in their desire for freedom, were relentless. The year 1951 was a landmark in Libya's history, as the nation finally shook off the shackles of Italian rule. The United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution that led to the establishment of the Kingdom of Libya, a constitutional and hereditary monarchy under King Idris. This was a significant moment not just for Libya, but for Africa as well, as Libya became the first African country to gain independence from colonial rule. The independence in 1951 ushered in a new era for Libya, one filled with hope and uncertainty. As the nation embarked on a journey of self-rule, it was faced with the daunting task of nation-building and addressing the socio-economic disparities left behind by the Italian rule. This was a time of great optimism, but also a period of significant challenges, laying the groundwork for the Libya we know today. In 1969, Libya entered a new chapter with Muammar Gaddafi's rise to power. A young military officer, Gaddafi staged a bloodless coup, toppling King Idris and setting the stage for 4 decades of one-man rule. His reign was marked by a mixture of pan-Arab nationalism, socialist policies, and what he termed the Third International Theory, a political philosophy outlined in his Green Book. Gaddafi's rule significantly impacted Libya's wealth. He nationalized the country's oil industry, redirecting the profits to fund vast social welfare programs and infrastructural projects. Libya, under Gaddafi, boasted one of the highest GDPs per capita in Africa and saw significant improvements in living standards, yet his economic policies were controversial, with critics arguing that the wealth was unevenly distributed and that corruption was rampant. In the realm of religion, Gaddafi advocated a form of Islamic socialism. He maintained a delicate balance between maintaining Islamic traditions and promoting social modernization. However, his interpretations were often unconventional, creating tensions with conservative elements both within and outside Libya. Politically, Gaddafi's rule was marked by his eccentric and often confrontational international behavior. He was a staunch opponent of Western imperialism, and his support for revolutionary and terrorist groups worldwide led to Libya's international isolation. Domestically, his dictatorial regime was marked by human rights abuses and suppression of political dissent, leading to an undercurrent of domestic unrest. This unrest culminated in the Arab Spring of 2011, when widespread protests led to a bloody civil war. With NATO intervention, Gaddafi's regime was toppled, and the brother leader, as he styled himself, met a violent end. Gaddafi's fall in 2011 marked the end of an era, leaving Libya in a state of flux. His departure created a power vacuum, setting off a chain of events that would shape the country's future in ways that are still unfolding today. As we delve into the events of modern Libya in the next segment, we'll explore the challenges and opportunities that this North African nation faces in the post-Gaddafi era. Post-2011, Libya has been grappling with the challenges of a post-Gaddafi era. After 4 decades under the rule of Gaddafi, the nation was left to navigate a new course, one fraught with political upheaval, civil unrest, and power struggles. The vacuum left by Gaddafi's fall was quickly filled by multiple factions vying for control, leading to a complex and unstable political landscape. The country is now divided among various groups, each wielding its own degree of power and influence. The Government of National Accord, or the GNA, backed by the United Nations, holds sway in the west, while the Libyan National Army, or the LNA, led by Khalifa Haftar, commands the eastern and southern parts. On the religious front, Libya, primarily a Sunni Muslim nation, has seen a rise in religious conservatism post-Gaddafi. The influence of religious groups has grown, impacting societal norms and the political discourse. Yet the Libyan people continue to exhibit a wide spectrum of religious beliefs and practices, showcasing the country's religious diversity. The economic condition of Libyan families has been greatly affected by years of conflict and instability. The once prosperous nation, buoyed by vast oil reserves, now grapples with economic hardship. The wealth disparity has grown, with a significant portion of the population living below the poverty line. Despite these challenges, the spirit of resilience is evident among the Libyan people. They continue to strive for peace, stability, and prosperity, determined to rebuild their nation. As Libya enters its second decade post-Gaddafi, the world watches with hope and anticipation. The future of Libya is a tale yet to be written. It's a story that will be shaped by its people, their dreams, their struggles, and their triumphs. Today, despite the challenges, Libya stands resilient, its future a canvas waiting to be painted by its people.